So, are you self-published or do you work with a publisher?
My first book was through a vanity publisher, so I hired somebody to help me go through the whole thing. So I had a publisher backing me up on that one, not
Mm.
traditionally published. I would never call myself that. And
Oh,
then my second book was self-published, entirely self-published.
okay. Is there a particular, and just so everyone, everyone knows, but you may know, but I'm self-published too. But is there a particular reason you decided to go self-published for later books, and even for the first one, not necessarily go with the traditional route?
Yeah, and there are a lot of pros and cons to both sides, as you probably know if you explored the traditional publishing realm. I personally am in favor of self-publishing. I know it is a bit of a more challenge up front to get the marketing superpowers and to supercharge that, and the editing and the costs are kind of on you. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is that can happen with traditional publishing too. So if you're a first-time author and you're trying to get into traditional publishing, chances are you're going to need a literary agent. And that literary agent can be really, really hard to find. Again, I'm a stats person. So I heard a stat that the chances of getting accepted, I think it was into Yale, is like 3%.
Mm.
The chances of finding a literary agent are less than 0.1.
Oh, good grief!
That is just an astounding. So you can be sitting on this beautiful manuscript that is, it's polished, it's ready to go. The world needs to hear it. And you can get stuck by gatekeepers. And you
Oh,
can be stuck for years. And that's why I don't think people's work deserves that. That's where self-publishing comes in, is you're in charge. You get to say when your book is ready for the world, not someone else.
hmm.
And I truly believe that every book has a reader. Every book, somebody needs to read your book. And in the self-publishing realm, you are 100% in charge of that. You target your messaging to who you want to. You are in control of what your message is. Like, if you sign with a traditional publisher, you don't own your book. You
Yeah,
don't own copywriting of your book. The publisher does.
they have
So
the right.
they get to say, no, I don't like the way it ends. They can change your whole story,
Oh,
right? With self-publishing, you're in control. You own the rights to your book, and you can get into all of the big stores like Amazon, book, Barnes and Noble, Chapters for my Canadian friends, Indigo. You can get into all of these stores with self-publishing, but you're in the driver's seat. So,
hmm.
sorry, that was a bit of a rant on why I like self-publishing, but it's true. That's why I chose it.
I think a lot of people will agree with you nowadays. The traditional publishing route, it's gotten a bad rap, and usually I use that phrase if I'm getting ready to defend something, but I'm actually not, because especially nowadays with social media and various ways that you can market your book and build a following. It's like the little marketing that they would, the trade-off in the past was they would do a level of marketing for you, and that's kind of like, this is the only way you're going to really get your book out there. That's just simply not true in 2023. There's
Mhm.
plenty of ways to get your book out there, both free and paid. So it's kind of like, well, what other value are you offering? And once you sit down and think about it, I personally have a hard time coming up with other values they could give you aside from, oh, well, we'll do some marketing. But you can do the mark. In fact, some publishers are actually requiring you to have a small following already in
Mhm.
order to get in the door. It's kind of like, well, that was your bargaining chip. If I have to do that anyway, what's the point of me signing my rights over to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for like if you're in the nonfiction realm, you put a book proposal together if you're trying to get a traditional publisher. And part of that is your social media following. What is your author platform? You're selling yourself to them, right? And that's going to very much determine if they pick you up or not. Do you have a following already? Because they're not guaranteeing they're going to bring you one. That's basically what they're saying is we want to buy your book. We want to own the rights to your book. We want to take all the royalties from your book, but we want you to do the work.
Um, I'll say this about the difference between publishing, and then we can move on. But if you are going to sign with a traditional publisher, and keep in mind that you do need to build your reputation up in order to demand this, but realize that they're going to get the rights and they're going to be giving you pennies off of royalties. Negotiate a very high sign-on bonus
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do it, which I wouldn't. Keep in mind you got to build your reputation up to get to that. But if you're able to do that, that's when maybe it starts coming more appealing. But the sign-on bonus, at least in my opinion, it needs to at least be in the 5 figures.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. If you want return on your investments, yeah.
What's up, everyone? The video you just watched is actually a clip or portion of another episode from the Side Hustler Society podcast. You can check out the full episode by clicking on the link in the description or by clicking on the video that's popping up on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified next time an episode drops. And give this video a thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.